I can describe Coilib as a safe incubator. So I would encourage everyone to apply, and for sure, I'm certain your ideas will be in safe hands, and they will hatch successfully to better businesses.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
Mic test.
Mic test.
1 2 check. 1 2 check.
The mentorship program that we've been taken through, we've been able to solve some of the challenges we had as an enterprise. We're able to structure our organization. I could recommend to any youths out there who are having an idea on any enterprise that they would want to venture in, or even if they have started, they can be able to be journeyed through the remaining, that is maybe growth, and they achieve their goals.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
Welcome to Coilib. Coilib is a center of excellence for livestock innovation and business. One of its
Thank you for staying with the youth and leadership, and the discussion starts right now. In the room today, I'm privileged to have the following guests, and Mr. Wafula here, thank you for making time. Mr. Kayodo, thank you for making time. Mr. Gordon, thank you for making time. Maybe just, who is Mr. Wafula?
Yeah, I am.
Who is Mr. Wafula?
I'm John Wafula. I'm stroke 23. I'm from Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, aspirant of Buruburu and Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Gordon, briefly tell us who you are.
Okay, I'm Ronald Okeyo Ojuang. Yeah, a student from Faculty of Fed course, taking AJED as a course. Yeah, and also an aspirant of Buruburu Hollywood Congress. Thank you.
Okay, on to Mr. Kayodo.
Yes. I'm Kayodo Oko Samuel. Kayodo Oko Samuel is a third year, but a law student and an aspirant in the race for the Buruburu and the Hollywood Congress seats, and I'm looking forward for a positive conversation. Yeah.
Gentlemen, all of you have the pursuit of going or running for the Congress chair, Hollywood, Buruburu. Just to start with Mr. Kayodo again, what drives you as a leader?
Yes, that's a very good question. What drives me as a leader is that all along as a teenager, I've been having a passion to be a leader that is working for a student, and also depending on the future goals, I love to be a leader. So for me, to be a good leader in future, it starts with home. Yeah.
And Kiongozi, why not your faculty? You just chose the halls department.
Again, that's a very good question, because with just from the physical outlook, I have a good communication skills and an passionate behavior that allow me to conduct or to contact with students, that when I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that kind of bonding, the kind of affection between me and the students will somehow be matured, or to the kind of affiliation to be high. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. John, out of the 6, you still said you have to stand out and you have to go for the seat. What is your driving force?
Yes, I'm passionate enough for the student, the welfare of the student. Yes, and I chose to lead because I'm dedicated enough and committed for that seat.
Okay, why not your faculty?
Yes, I chose the halls because the experience of the students starts with where they reside. So I will say that I will want to make the halls of residence be not just a place to reside, but a place where we can call home. So yeah, I chose it because of that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. John. Mr. Gordon here, you said you have to go for this. And you said you're not stepping down unless they step down for you. So what is your driving force towards this?
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, you know, to be a leader, there must be something that drives you. And for a fact, for me, I've interacted with fellow students and I've seen the challenges that they are going through. And being also a member of residents of Buruburu Hollywood, you know, the same problem that they are going through is the same problem I'm also going through. So I'm not...
Kiongozi, which are these problems?
Yeah, you know, I not only know the problem that they are going through, but also feel the same problem that they are going through, isn't it? So when there's a student, for example, is found in a problem and there is no one there to stand out with him or her and help him or her out of the problem. So that is the thing that drove me for me to be a leader of Buruburu Hollywood. Thank you.
Okay, I believe for you to aim for that role, you understand your roles as an aspirant. Or let me assume you're a congress right now. Can you maybe elaborate to us your role as an EUSA official in the docket of the congress halls?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my role first is to present the concern of the students to the EUSA Parliament. You know, with the interaction that I'll be having with the students, they'll be free to present their problems and to me, and with that, I'll be writing a proposal if need be, and also when it's something that needs a cooperation between the custodians and the Congress, I'll be there to present their problems there. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wafula, what's your take on the same?
Yes.
Your role as a halls congress.
Yes, my role as a halls congress, one of the role is to present the student welfare to where they can meet their needs. Huh? Yeah, I can take I can research first their input, or I can do research on the challenges they are facing, then present them to where they can get solutions. Yeah.
Wakili, what's your take on the same?
Thank you for that. Subject to Article 34 of the EUSA Constitution, clearly provides the roles for the Member of Parliament for our halls residents. So when you look at that article very keenly, firstly, it says that...
Which article is that?
It is Article 34 of the EUSA Constitution. Yeah, so when you look at that article very keenly, it first states that the student leader, like the halls congress, for in this case, the MP for the Buruburu and the Hollywood Republic, the Constitution clearly outlined that the student who is elected as the leader shall represent the student in the EUSA Parliament. So, me as a leader, if at all I'll be elected, I'll ensure that the student concerned, all their interests, or any other burning issue that may be affecting the student, maybe on the welfare matters, like when you look so very keenly, in the halls resident, we are having the needy students. Again, we are having students who may end up or may lack fee. Yeah. So these are the kind of concerns that, if at all I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that their aspiration, their concerns are clearly represented in the EUSA Parliament.
Okay, Mr. Ronald, we have students and we have the constituents you are representing. So what is this specific approach that you are going to use in ensuring that the interests of your constituents are achieved?
Okay, thank you. When it comes to the interest of my constituents, it's obvious that I'll be there to interact with them, because as an elected Congress of Buruburu Hollywood, I'll be there with them, I'll be interacting with them, and through the interaction that I'll be having with my fellow students, I'll be able to know their problems that they're going through, and through this, if need be, that I write a proposal to present their concerns in the parliament, I'll write. And if something, you know, there are things that we can as well solve at personal level, I'll be there for them and help them to solve them if need be. Thank you.
How are you planning to help them solve this in collaboration with the other EUSA members?
Okay, thank you very much. You know, for us to be elected and be there as EUSA members, first thing we have to be in unity. Through unity, I believe that we'll be speaking one voice and be able, I know that all the EUSA aspirants and the ones elected will be having the interest of the students and in themselves. So through this, they'll be able to support me. Maybe if I write a proposal and present it into the parliament, they'll be there to support because they also maybe feel the same problem that the students are also going through. Yeah.
Mr. John, you said that your constituents are at heart. So what is this approach that you are going to take to ensure that you satisfy or sit to their concerns?
Yes, thank you for your question. So one of the approach that I'm going to use is one-to-one engagement. Yeah, I live in Buruburu, and therefore I will be interacting with some of them, or the most of them, then present the issue to where they can meet the solutions.
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with the Youth and Leadership. Keep tweeting your question at 2244 and keep sending your questions at Koelib. And this is just the first phase of the Hollywood Buruburu interview. Mr. Wakili, what are the specific challenges up to now that you have had your constituents are facing?
Yes, that is a very good question again. I'll just say that I love the provision of the EUSA Constitution, because when you look at that Constitution very keenly, that Article 34 provides that when you are a leader, when you are leading the student, you must hear from the student. So, me as a leader, I'll ensure that I'll be conducting a special general meeting on all the residents, all the students who are living in the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency to hear their concern.
And what are these concerns that
that's again a very good question. When you look at the student very keenly, most of the students that are residing within the varsity, you will realize that the welfare has actually been a great challenge. Yeah, you will get that most of the students are struggling to get meals. Most of the students are also struggling to get fee. Then again, you will get that students who have been bereaved. So as a student leader, I'll ensure that consistent conducting of the special general meeting on knowing the welfare of the student. And at once I'll know the welfare of the student, I'll collaborate with the director welfare of the EUSA leadership to ensure that this student finds some essence of comfort. Yeah.
Bwana Ronald, you, after getting elected as an aspirant, you now assume office. How do you plan to stay connected with your constituents and basically remain responsive to their needs throughout your tenure?
Pardon?
How do you plan to stay connected with your constituents and listen to their needs?
Okay, first, you know, when I'm elected as a member, as a congressperson of Buruburu Hollywood, first you have to understand that there are some students who are not able to speak out, but if you give them a platform of writing, they can write. So we'll be having also a group where the students can as well write their needs and present to me. In case they are free to inbox me and maybe say their needs. Because I understand that there are those whom, if you face them, they cannot say their problems. But if you give them a platform or maybe they're writing, they can do. And when it comes to the physical one, I'll be there. My room will always be open for the members of Buruburu Hollywood, for them to come in and present their issues. Suppose I'll be in class, I'm sure that there'll be someone there whom they can present their issues to, and through this I'll be getting to get all their needs and concerns. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wafula, we have other organs of the EUSA, and we have your organ as a Congress halls. So how do you plan to foster them and bring these two together for the benefit of your constituents?
Yes, thank you for your question. Yeah, one of the things that I can do to work together so that we can collaborate for the effective leadership in my halls. One of it is actually unity and teamwork. Yeah, we shall do what we call the teamwork. I will ensure that I work with other leaders who have that ambition of bringing Egerton University to the next level.
Okay, back to Wakili. Wakili, is there any specific experience or skill that you're planning to bring on board once elected? Is there any specific skill or experience that you plan to bring on board once you're elected as a Congress?
That is a very good question, and I love how you're bringing up your questions. When I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I want to say that going for the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency is not my first time in leadership. When I was in my second year, I had been a leader. I was the vice chair of the Social Welfare Council in the EUSA, that is Egerton University Law Student Association. So once I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood, you know, what I'm trying to insinuate or what I'm trying to bring on board in the when I told I'll be elected at the MP of the Buruburu and the Hollywood Republic, this is what I'm saying. I'm mostly concerned with the welfare of the student, because the welfare of the student actually means the well-being of the student. So if at all I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that each and every time, or let's say we'll just come and conduct some kind of timetable routine, that we will be having the several SGM. If at all we cannot have the physical SGM, then I'll ensure that there is an online meeting with the student. This is why we are having the wall for the Buruburu and the Hollywood residents, where when a student actually has some itching problem or some matters that is of great concern, then the student can address the issue in the wall. And once he or she will have addressed the issue in the wall, then me at the Congress, basing on their needs, their welfare, I'll ensure that the welfare or the well-being of the students that are residing in the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency actually is well taken care of. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Wafula, we're moving straight to you. Yes. How do you plan to balance between your studies and academic life and extracurricular activities?
Yes, thank you for the question. So that is all about the time management and prioritization. Yeah. I will plan for my studies well. I will have a schedule for every event and the leadership also. Yeah.
Okay. On the same question.
Okay, you're asking how I'll manage my time and my studies and my time again for the students of Buruburu Hollywood. You know, first, for me to decide to be in this post, I've looked at my schedule and known that I can easily manage my time and also have time for the members of Buruburu Hollywood. First, when it comes to my studies, I'll be there. You know, studies during the day we are in classes, and at night I can be there for personal studies, and during the weekends I'll be fully there for the students of Buruburu Hollywood. And through this, I'll be interacting with them and also knowing their problems. And it's not only that they'll be only presenting their problems during the weekends, but also during the weekdays, through the groups that we have, through the online platforms, they can also inbox me and present their questions to me. So with that, I'll know how to balance my time, and when it also comes to the time for Parliament, I'll be there to present their issues to the Parliament through proposals, and also help engage with my fellow congresspersons so that their proposal is also looked into. Thank you.
Bwana Ronald, still on you, do you believe or do you feel like the previous Congress did something for the constituents?
Yeah, I believe that he did something, though I can't justify. But when you look into something like one of his manifestos was the Wi-Fi. Already the Wi-Fi is there, of which I can't blame him on that, because it's already that he did something. And that's a good example that he did. Thank you.
Wakili, what's your take on the same?
You may just come on kindly, yeah?
Do you believe the former regime that you are taking after did a honorable job?
Yeah, that is also a good question again. I want just to thank Mr. Linus Kaberia, because Linus Kaberia has actually done a lot. When you look at most of his policies, one of his policies, I've been residing in Buruburu since my first year in Egerton University. And now that I'm in third year, I keenly listened to the manifesto that were brought on board by Mr. Linus Kaberia. And one of the manifesto was putting the hang lines. If you look so very keenly, we must appreciate Mr. Linus Kaberia, because when you look at the when during the previous regime before Mr. Linus, that is the Vivian actually also did well, but when you look at the hang lines were somehow kind of few. So Mr. Linus Kaberia actually fought that the hang lines were brought on board again. The one that is mostly talked about is on the Wi-Fi. We are very proud that as the resident of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, we are very proud that today we can enjoy 24 hours internet accessible in the Buruburu constituency. So we must applaud Mr. Kaberia for bringing for the Buruburu and the Hollywood resident a Wi-Fi, and also has done some effort in ensuring that the hang lines have been increased. And this has led to the reduction of theft. Yeah, sure.
Okay, gentlemen, I like how the discussion is flowing. I now need us to get to the direction of our manifestos. We are here, and we are addressing our constituents. We have them at heart, and we have what we will deliver to them. So, Mr. Wafula will take the first round. What is this that we are going to deliver to your constituents once elected?
Yes, first of all, the first thing that I prioritize is the issue of the security, whereby in my manifesto I have put the issue of security, whereby we shall have security lights all over. They be added so that to curb the insecurity cases.
And how are you going to do this as a Congress?
Yes, one of the things that I will be going to do is working hand in hand with the whole management or whole department, so that we can deliver such.
Okay, are there any other manifesto?
Okay, the other thing is hygiene and sanitation. Yeah, whereby I will be going to, they will be going to be, the water will be adequate, and I will be also ensure that there is regular wash of the washrooms. Yeah, the other manifesto is the issue of the renovation of the hostels. The hostels needs to be renovated, because I have seen the complaints from various people from Hollywood. Yeah, they are complaining that there is some leakages. Yeah, so that is just one of it.
So Kiongozi, you are going to wait until elected, then you address the leakages problem to the health department.
Yes, I reported the issue. I reported to the issue to the current Congress person in Buruburu, and he's working. Yeah.
Okay, Wakili, can you outline to us your manifestos?
Yes. Before I contested for this seat, I first ensured that I hear from the people. That is why I was working in each and every hostel, then asking the students, you as a student, what do you want me to do for you? So my manifestos that I'm bringing on board, one is on the renovation. When you look at most of the students are complaining that their house of residence or their houses where they live, there's some kind of funny writings in the wall. And when you look at the floor itself is not in a good condition. So my first manifesto is on the renovation. We'll ensure, in as much as the school may not do them all, we are going to ensure that at least we put some kind of pressure in the administration to at least try to renovate this kind of hostel, because you even get to an hostel, then you wonder which kind of writings are these on the wall. That is one. Two is on the security. When you look at the security, you are saying the safetyness of the student is what must be our first priority, right? So when we look at the security, it is not very fair that when you look at the securities officers, they may be only be keen on the 10/10 rule, but the safetyness of the student is not a key priority. So when I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Olive constituency, and just to say, there is a case in the I know it may be not of great concern now, but there is a case of the student who was actually beaten in this sort of residence you call Taton. It is very sad that a student is in school. Then this student can be beaten. I don't know whether he was beaten to death.
Kiongozi, you have to ascertain the facts first, and
Yeah.
then you narrate
Yeah,
to us.
actually, despite the fact.
You still don't know whether he was beaten.
Yeah,
or
sure.
maybe another point.
But despite the fact, the facts don't lie. You know, there is what is called a fact in issue and the facts. So the fact is what has been alleged, right? But the facts, there is what is called hearsay. And some instances there where a hearsay can be used as an evidence, right? Yeah, so that is one. On the security still, I'm saying that the student must live in a safer place. For student to live in a safer place, when you look at the washrooms, when you go to those washrooms at night, you'll get that there are no lights. So once I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that the lights, not actually the security light, but the lights that are in washrooms have been renovated or resupplied or rebuilt again. Yeah. Then when you look at the whole of residential Garissa, when you get to Garissa at night, you will not love getting to that place because just from the door or just from the main entrance, you'll get that it is somehow kind of dark at night. Yeah. So I'm going to ensure, if at all I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that the security lights have been increased in the whole resident. When you look at the behind Kirinyaga, there is a security light or rather satellite that at times not working. So when I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that the security light or the satellite at night will be on until morning. Yeah. Just to add again, on the availability of water. You want a consistent supply of water in the whole resident. It is so very sad that when you look at the Garissa, the Isiolo, and some of the gas residents in Hollywood, it is very shaming, or it is actually kind of paining, that at times you get that there is no water, somehow for 2 or 3 hours. And you must understand that girls must bathe each and every time or consistently. Yeah. So when I'll be elected at the Congress of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'll ensure that there is a consistent supply of water within the residence.
What if you're not elected, Kiongozi, unfortunately?
Yeah, sure. If at all I'll not be elected, God forbid, but I pray that I be elected. So if at all I'll be elected as the Congress, okay, if at all I'll not be elected, then I cooperate with the Congress that would be elected to ensure that some of the manifestos that I was having, actually, he can add them to theirs and see on how to execute these issues. Yeah.
So Kiongozi, till now you've been noticing shortage of water and you've been reluctant from your
Yeah, sure. There may be a shortage of water, but, you know, me, I'm just like a resident of Buruburu. So, if at all there have been a shortage of water in the residence, actually, Linus Kabera, if he was here, he could have actually been a witness, because I do collaborate with him to ensure that there is a consistent supply of water. If at all there is no water, atatuambia hapo kwa group ati kwa sasa kuna maji, let's wait for for a little bit or for a while, they short out the mess. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Ronald, your manifestos and how you plan to roll them out.
Okay, first, I would like to say sorry to members of Hollywood. Personally, I'm really hurt. People of Hollywood, there is a time that there was no power for 3 days, and it was in the onset of the exam. Personally, I took the initiative. I called the Working Congress at night and told him of the issue.
When was this, Kiongozi?
This was last semester. Yeah. Last semester, this incident occurred. I took the initiative, called Kiongozi at night, told him, The very morning I again reminded him of the same issue. But mine is to just see on how to rectify on this. Because it is said that if you can see a problem without an answer to it, then there is no need of identify the problem. So I'm planning on how to write a proposal so that we pass it in the parliament and remove that line from the one in Haero and bring it to the one of the school, so that they also be enjoying the light the other students are also enjoying.
So this proposal is directed to Linus Kaberi or who?
No. Maybe if I be elected, of which, God willing, I might be, but I'll write a proposal and present it to the parliament. We discuss it with the fellow congresspersons and pass it. If it's passed, then the school sees on how we remove the line and bring it in the one of the school. And secondly, one of the things that I believe in is when I'm a leader, so long as I'm reachable, the problem is half solved. I'm going to be there for the members of Buruburu Hollywood, for them to also present their issues unto me. Because if I'm not around, then they'll be there suffering. I'll be there, and I'll be there to serve them always. And when it comes to water, I really thank my colleagues, because it's like we are thinking in the same line. When it comes to water, I also have to say sorry for my fellow ladies. Not my fellow ladies, I'm sorry. For my ladies in Buruburu. For my ladies in Buruburu. Because you find that wasichana sana sana wananyesha usiku nini. Na inasikitisha sana eti akinyesha hizi end up aoge nini.
Can you use a lighter term?
A lighter time. Sorry. When they are on their periods. When they are on their periods, we have to look for a way for them. If that thing comes at night, they can also bathe and sleep on, they sleep while clean. Because when you say that they'll wait until the morning, it means that the bed sheet will also be affected. So we have to look for a way to solve this issue. And that one, I think we are going to look for a way to add more tanks in Isiolo and Buruburu Hollywood. Isiolo and Hollywood. And that one, I'm sure, will solve this problem of water shortage. Yeah.
Viongozi, basically, I've heard across Wakili and Mr. Ronald, you've talked about water supply. And you've only championed for the females, particularly Garissa, Isiolo. What about these males that stay in Kakamega, Kericho? Them, they should be bathing or using water.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, men, they say that it's not a must that they bathe, but it's obvious that they must need water, isn't it? But fortunately, we have tanks already there. When you walk, is it towards Kisii, there is a tank there. Behind Nandi, there is a tank there. It means that there are tanks, and if need be, we might add a few. But the most important thing, you find that the ladies hostels, they are not having the tanks that the same that the boys are having. That's the reason why you see us talking much about ladies. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is very good again. When you look, let me just kindly take you to what Article 53(2) of the Kenyan Constitution provides. When you look at Article 53(2) of the Kenyan Constitution provides that a child-based interest is of paramount importance based on the issues concerning the child. And in this case now, let's bring it to Buruburu. So we are saying that the girls' interests are of paramount importance based on the issues that are concerning the girls.
But Kiongozi, here we are focusing directly on the EUSA constitution.
Yeah. In as much as we are focusing on the EUSA constituency, there is need that also we bring the aspect of the constitution. Just kindly, if you allow me. Yeah. So I'm saying that the girl-based interests are of paramount importance based on the issues that are of great concern to the girls. This is why we are taking a first priority to the girls. And once we have sorted the mess of these girls, again, we may look at the interest of the boys now. But the interest of the girls must be first in hand because of the kind of nature or what the nature provides for them. Yeah.
Kiongozi Wafula, you talked about security. Is there any incident that has been reported for you to put it as one of the top manifestos from your constituency?
Okay, the insecurity cases has been reported recently. The issue of theft of phones. Yeah, that's why I planned in my manifestos, I'll add grills on windows so that now no one can access our property through the window. Yeah. So the issue of the phone was reported, and that was a very alarming one that needs to be considered also.
And Kiongozi here talked about dark corridors in Garissa and Isiolo. How are you going to talk about that?
The dark corridors, actually we can add on more lights. We can add more security lights there at that block, so that our ladies are safer and secure.
And Viongozi, as we are coming to the close of the discussion today, we have these, can I say is it a problem, or is it something that is you people are used to, the students are used to doing? It's the breaching of the 10 to 10 rule. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of you, maybe your friends have fallen a victim of this. How are you going to address this issue?
Okay, on the issue concerning the 10 to 10 rules, first and foremost, we have to say that rules are there. And I'll just ask my members of Buruburu that we also need to adhere to the rules. When it comes to the rule of 10 to 10 rules, I think it cuts across all the universities. And if we say that we may see, you might have forgotten, let's assume, because human beings tend to forget. But most importantly, let's try so that time we use the duration that we are given, because I believe that between 10 and 10, that is enough for you. And I don't see the reason why we should also try to break the rules. But also when you are a victim, if you reach out to me, we'll see on how to solve that issue.
And how will you see how to solve the issue?
Yeah, mistakes are there. And if a mistake is there, so we must see on how to solve it. We'll collaborate with the custodians, and we talk. Maybe if there is a penalty, of which I don't pray that there'll be, but it's good to solve it at a personal level before it reaches the hands of that it cannot be solved now. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Fuller.
Yes. I'm a leader who understands the needs of the student and what and the welfare at large. So if we are told that one of the comrade has fallen in that, so one of the things I will come and see what the reason behind breaking that rule, 10 to 10 rule. So if genuine one, then he or she is not supposed to be punished, because I have seen many of the students, when it reaches to exam time, they want to extend, to revise on something on the unit. Maybe he or she didn't understood, or maybe he wants to get more knowledge. So at least when he or she reaches to me, I will discuss with the custodian, so that we can solve the issue and ensure fairness.
So Kiongozi, 1 a.m. gets you in a ladies' hostel, and you are revising for exams.
So
in the presence of libraries and other spots for revision.
Okay, and 1 a.m. actually that's not good. Why do you transnight? So I urge the comrades, the Buruburu and Hollywood, kindly time management. It should just to be observed. Yeah.
Okay, Wakili, you talked about ladies' hostels being dark in the dead of the night. Probably you have once been there at either 12 or 1.
Yeah, Mr. Panelis, actually, let me thank you again that the question that you are raising are somehow kind of substantive. Let me say that I've not been a victim of the same, but as at yesterday, you know the 10 over 10 rule, right? So I was in the ladies' hostel in the 9 p.m. Yeah, when I was in the hostel, that is when I was still hearing the views of the student. When I was in that hostel, actually one of the major concerns that they were raising is on the issue of the dark night. Yeah? So I don't know whether I've answered your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you going to help? The question was, your friends or your constituents are found breaching the rule.
Yes.
So how are you going to handle that case?
Yeah, again, that is a good question. There is what is called an awareness and advocacy. In as much as these provisions are in the EUSA constitution, there is need that, each and every year, the new students comes, and maybe they have not been consent of the same. So, if at all I'll be elected at the Congress again, we are going to do what is called an advocacy and awareness. We are going to let the student know that before 10 a.m., you're not supposed to be in the guest residence. And after 10 p.m., also you're not supposed to be in the host residence. So what I'm going to do is to bring to their consent or create some kind of advocacy and awareness to the student to understand that the 10/10 rule must be obeyed, because we cannot actually forego or disobey these rules because in the EUSA provisions or the EUSA the Egerton University Students Association constitution provisions. Yeah.
Okay, Viongozi, I'm just going to give each of us, as we wind up, 1 minute each to sell yourself out to your constituents. Let me begin with Kiongozi here.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sorry maybe to look into the previous question, but yesterday there was an incident that one of our colleagues collapsed, and it was late in the night. So the only way we will help him is to bring him into the ladies' hostel for him to gain his conscience, so that we see on the way forward. So you see, such a genuine reason, I think that there is no need of such a student being condemned of such.
Just hold on. How these ladies' hostels have doctors or miracles in them that you have to take a male, yet we have a sanatorium around, the first aiders around?
Okay, thank you very much. Now that I was alone and I had ladies, I wouldn't have carried the boy to the sanatorium. But it was very easy for me to carry him maybe to the ladies' hostel, do the first aid. Being that I'm also a scout, I did my first aid for him to gain his conscience. After that, again, he collapsed. And so after collapsing, so I had to ensure that we get something for him to eat again and take him to the hospital thereafter.
You took him to another ladies' hostel?
No, just the same room. Okay. Yeah, and thereafter we took him to the sanatorium. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now when it comes to the last question, to the members of Buruburu, I want to tell you one thing. Just know that it can only be done if you play your part. Your part, that prayer of yours and that vote of yours is very important. And remember to vote a reachable leader who will be there for you 24 hours. Thank you very much.
Maybe remind them of your name.
Okay, I'm Ronald Okeyo Ojuang, taking a jet, stroke 23 from Fedcos. Thank you.
Kiongozi Wafula, you're parting shot.
Yes. Okay, just to introduce myself, I'm Wafula Nyongesa John, aspirant Buruburu and Hollywood. I'm stroke 23 from FAST. Therefore, I urge all comrades from Buruburu and Hollywood to choose a leader who will deliver, who will act, and who will listen to them. Don't just choose a leader because of he or she comes from your tribe or something of the sort. Yeah. So avail yourself, register. The link has been sent to the group. So register and vote for John Wafula. Vote for change. Thank you.
Finally, Wakili.
Yeah. Just before I finish, let me say that there is what is called a delegated authorities, where if at all I'll be elected again, we are going to delegate these authorities to each and every student, because we are going to form let's say a cabinet, where I hear my friend here, Ronald, saying that he took the responsibility in his hand going to the girls' hostel. Maybe
Kiongozi, yours was a parting shot, not attack to him.
No. I'm just trying to comment on what he has said. Yeah.
Parting shot.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, we are going to delegate these authorities to each and every student, be it the girls, the boys. We're going to ensure that we are having a cabinet that ensure the well-being of the students. Yeah, that's aside. Now to the resident of the Buruburu and the Hollywood constituency, I'm Kayodo Oko Samuel. Kayodo Oko Samuel is an aspirant now for the Buruburu and the Hollywood Congress seat. I'm humbly requesting that you consider my candidature when it comes to the 13th of February, and you vote me in as your new Congress. I'm passionate. I'm and I'm somehow kind of passionate, resilient, and ready for change. In my manifestos, I'm going to ensure, in as much as we cannot satisfy them, we are going to ensure that what we brought on board, or what I myself has brought on board, I'm going to ensure that I try to fulfill them. If at all I cannot fulfill them, I'll come to you, the student, and tell you that maybe, like on my first agenda is on innovation. I'll come to you, student, and tell you, this is what the administration is saying. They're saying, if I told you, let's now give, for example, if I told they're going to innovate this room, then there may be an increment in the accommodation fee. So we must have some kind of meeting. That is why I'm saying we must be having some special general meeting substantively or continuously to hear from the student, and to also to submit our reports that are from the EUSA Parliament. So having said that, I want to humbly request the resident of the Buruburu and the Hollywood that you consider my candidature, Samuel Ooko Kayodo. Yeah. Thank you.
Gentlemen, this was a very productive discussion, and we've had each of us lay out his manifesto and whatever he feels is fit for his constituents. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. This was Youth and Leadership, Hollywood Buruburu First Phase. Don't keep far, we are coming back with the second phase of Hollywood Buruburu. I was your host, Dickens Omolo. Thank you, till next time.
We hustle.
We go through.
Access granted.
We win.
We lose.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
In everything, we dust ourselves.
We are the majority.
You wanna tell me just what we're dealing with here?
If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you who we are.
It's me. Hi. We are the empowered youth.
Underground.
And this is our podcast, the EY Podcast.
Turn it up, let the speakers boom. Go.
I want to recommend very highly COILIB to every youth out there who has an idea that they want to bring on board. This is a place where you'll be incubated, so to say. You, irrespective of how rugged you feel your idea is, you come to this place and we will continuously work on you to make sure that the idea that you have is refined and at least you become the person.
COILIB Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
at Coilib you have access to mentors, you have access to people that your peers, basically, the people that you're working with, and there's nothing as important as working with a group of people who are doing the same thing, because then you're able to motivate each other, and help each other grow.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
I can describe Coilib as a safe incubator. So I would encourage everyone to apply, and for sure, I'm certain your ideas will be in safe hands, and they will hatch successfully to better businesses.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
We are Coilib TV.
My name is Jacinta Kariuki of MDF Training and Consultancy. I'm currently at Egerton University in Joro, facilitating a session on curriculum development and modern learning for the University of Juba. And this is under the NUFIC Orange Knowledge Program titled New Horizon Food Security.
I'm really very happy and delighted to be in this training because I joined the research development group, and then there I have learned a lot of things, especially it strengthened my knowledge as a lecturer in research procedure, how to carry out the research, and then how to evaluate it or disseminate the data for users in order to be useful to the community.
Because once you have the assessment, you have the learning task, now you can easily come up with what kind of articles do you need, and then from that also what kind of lectures.
We went through all the research tools, methods, and we finally worked on how to collect data. There are tools for collecting data. One of the most new thing that we learned is the digital collection of data. We use some tools which we didn't have previously. Things like infographs, which is you have a very small research project, and the findings you put it in a compact way, which is easy for any lay person to understand. You have the percentage and you have this, it's very clear, not like the professional, the academic way of presenting results.
And the course itself was so interesting, the workshop itself was so interesting. what stood out for me in that workshop about curriculum development was about how to, that there are two types of curriculum. There is the traditional one, and then there is this competency-based curriculum.
What we are here to do, we all know, is curricular development review and modern learning. And it's a significant.
As for the whole exposure visit to Egerton, I actually found that there are certain gaps that we were missing, particularly in our educational system, which was mostly traditional, and that require actually a competent base at least to make it having a good impact.
You mean to say that the only target of the crops that you're taking from here, you take only to the supermarket, you don't take to the other sources of the market?
It's not that I can't sell to the other people, but you see, we are in business. So whoever pays well, we sell to them.
They gave us what we don't know. So we hope that if we go back, we're able to replicate what we've learned here.
Coilib for my business has really been a point of growth because I've seen my business move from one point to another. And you know, with Coilib, you get to understand the business aspect of it and how to make money.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
The mentorship program that we've been taken through, we've been able to solve some of the challenges we had as an enterprise, by able to structure our organization. I could recommend to any youths out there who are having an idea on any enterprise that they would want to venture in, or even if they have started, they can be able to be journeyed through the remaining, that is maybe growth, and they achieve their goals.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
The world demand of aquaculture products is expanding due to population growth and reduction of wild-caught fish, and increasingly so in the rapidly urbanizing areas. Demand for fish has been on a steady rise in Kenya. Research says that Kenya's fisheries, including capture and aquaculture fisheries, earn her an estimated $70 million from exports, besides providing a livelihood for the poor. Production is still heavily dependent on capture fisheries. The findings thus call for mass action on methods of beefing up aquaculture in Kenya and making it sustainable for the foreseeable future. One of these areas is at Lake Victoria in Homa Bay and Kindu Bay at Juliet Farm.
Our farm started in 2009. It gained momentum in 2010. We started in Bondo, but due to water challenges, we moved to this site. It was not specifically this site. It's a site which is about 5 kilometers from here. That is where we started in 2010. In 2012, January, we had the same challenge of water, so we purchased this site and set this side aside. One, it was good because of the access to water. We're just very close to a natural water body, which is Lake Victoria. At the same time, we had access to road and electricity. So generally, the infrastructure to reach the market was quite good.
There has been an increase in demand for fish while its supply has been greatly limited. The demand has not been easily met through the years due to cutthroat overfishing, poaching, poor fishing practices, lack of advanced technology when handling fish, among others.
There's a lot of demand for farmed fish. One is because of what I had mentioned earlier, dwindling catches. You know, tilapia generally is a prestigious fish in Kenya. If you get a visitor, you not buy bota or any other species, everybody would want to go for tilapia. And tilapia has a very huge shortage from the wild. Currently, the demand has been interrupted a little bit through the Chinese import. But our people, through enlightenment, they are realizing that the quality of Chinese cannot be compared to farmed tilapia. So the demand is quite huge.
The main warm water fishes bred in Kenya are the Nile tilapia and the African catfish. These two species are fast becoming the new cash magnet of the counties. Growing public demand for a healthy, tasty, and affordable protein is stimulating the boom in this industry. The decline in wild fish populations as a result of overharvest and water pollution in Lake Victoria and other water bodies has therefore promoted the culture of farmed fresh fish that are grown in static ponds and cage systems.
We do grow out. Initially, we used to do them under pond. I mentioned to you that we are doing sex reversal. Apart from sex reversal, we are also the only hatchery that does genetics. So what we do, we select certain traits that we want. And it's something that we've been doing since the inception of this hatchery. So we are in the 9th generation, starting the 10th generation. And because of that, we have to monitor our fish. Both in performance of sex reversal efficacy, we expect to achieve 98%, and also growth performance. So if we have to know the efficacy, which is the efficiency of sex reversal, we do it in grow-out to compare and know where there are loopholes. In terms of genetics, we also do the same and see how our fish are performing. So currently we are doing it in cages. We have cages in Suba. So we do cage farming.
In the cage aquaculture value chain, a lot of issues are of relevance, including water quality, feed, hatcheries, produce, transport, and marketing. Cage farms are positioned in such a way to utilize natural currents, which provides the fish with oxygen and other appropriate natural conditions. There is a risk that the expansion of aquaculture in Lake Victoria can become too intensive and pollute the waters with the risk of limiting future opportunities. It is only possible to implement strategic interventions along the systems that have real impacts only when understanding the core bottlenecks throughout value chains. A common understanding of food systems is needed to secure a sustainable future in both urban and rural communities to take needed action.
I can describe Coilib as a safe incubator. So I would encourage everyone to apply, and for sure, I'm certain your ideas will be in safe hands, and they will hatch successfully to better businesses.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
Thank you for staying with the youth and leadership, and the discussion proceeds right now. This is the second phase of the Hollywood Buruburu contestant discussion. So in studio, I have Mr. Dennis Ochola Odondi. Thank you for making time. In a minute, just tell us who Mr. Dennis is.
Okay, thank you. Dennis Ochola Odondi, resident of Buruburu and Hollywood. I'm also a class rep, that's BA first. Dennis Ochola Odondi is also a representative of Migori County Student Association, that's Awendo. And I'm also the representative of Central Circle, that's Awendo, Migori County Students Association. That's Dennis.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, you told us here you have been a class rep.
Yes, I'm a class rep.
And you're now vying for Congress position halls, Hollywood Buruburu specifically. Yeah. As a class rep, I hope the next transition is a faculty. Why did you just decide to go to the halls?
Okay, as a leader, I have different ambitions, different objectives that I believe are applicable in matters halls. As a class rep, we are the, should I say, lowly ranked in as per EUSA. So I believe I've interacted with the people, and I believe I have that know-how. Some of the challenges that my constituencies pass through, some of the issues that they have at heart and may, through me, want to be delivered.
Mr. Chola, we were with your fellow aspirants earlier on today, and they explained to us some of these challenges. And I've heard you in your statement also say that these challenges that the constituents face. From your own point of view, which are these challenges?
So, number one thing that I'd actually interacted with most of our constituents, that's Buruburu and Hollywood constituents, and one major challenge was matters finance. Another thing that I'd already also come across was matter security. That's also a challenge. Then access to the congressperson per se. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, some of these challenges, how do you feel you can address them from your own docket?
Okay, from my side, if you look into my manifesto, number one manifesto that I will wish to delve in is welfare. And I will want to approach the aspect of welfare in three main subdivisions. That is, number one, welfare. Welfare actually are some of the things that affect us at individual basis. When I talk of welfare, these are things to do with the provision of condoms. That's number one. Welfare per se also consists of things to do with the provision of meal cards, things to do with the provision of bursaries per se. Then another thing that's also a concern is in matters welfare, I will also want to initiate a program that's a welfare kitty, Hall's welfare kitty, that will aid in assisting or rather helping our comrades.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chola. What is your driving force towards this leadership pursuit? Because you've said you're a class rep and now you're aspiring to be a Congress.
Yeah, actually before I declared my candidature for Congressperson Buruburu and Hollywood, I had sat down with most of our classmates, and due to some of the things that I delivered at class rep level, they saw it wise. You need to elevate your stand, you need to elevate your position and strive for a higher position. That is Congressperson, yeah.
And with regards to the EUSA constitution, can you just outline some of your roles?
Okay, some of my roles that are actually within the EUSA constitution is, number one is representation. Representation is one major thing that I believe is enshrined within the constitution. Number two is also being, I'll be involved in the committees. There are different committees. If you've interacted with the EUSA constitution, there are different committees. One in particular is the welfare committee that I believe can also aid in assisting these comrades. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Odondi.
Yes.
You are a class rep, you still a student, and you are aspiring to be an official. How are you going to balance your academic life, extracurricular life, and let me say the leadership?
Okay, balancing of roles is, should I say, a personal initiative, personal principles per se. It's all about organizing yourself, knowing what to prioritize, knowing on which aspects to delve in first, which aspect to give little attention to, and I believe it will be efficient enough. Yeah.
And so on your own point of view, we know there are, let me say, improvements being done around Hollywood Buruburu. So which other improvements are you going to bring on board?
Yeah, there are improvements, and I want to commend the present government that's under the leadership of the current congressperson, that's Linus Kaberia. There are initiatives that are already ongoing, but I'll also want to venture in more and more transformation. That is, number one consideration that I'd also addressed during my work was I would wish to have our own room whereby we'll be having our own a room where we'll be storing our luggages. That is, other interacted with most of the Hollywood blocks, and one thing that came across was that this block, that's block C, whereby it's not actually there are no people that are residing within the block, and I saw it wise that why don't we liaise with the administration and actually renovate the room, put measures in place that will actually enable comrades to store their luggage during the short holidays. Yeah.
So, Kiongozi, on the event you are sent to this position, you have close to 5 competitors.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle them, or how are you going to incorporate them to ensure that you deliver your manifestos?
So this is also part of my plan. I have representatives from each and every block. And I believe my team is well equipped to handle anything that shall be thrown at us. Yeah.
Kiongozi, there has been this statute within the institution, the 10-to-10 rule, and it is really affecting. Let me say, many students are. I don't know if they are assuming it or they are not aware of it. So about this, how are you going to ensure they first of all know about it, and then how are you going to help the students who find themselves victims of this situation?
So let me use this is something that has actually happened to one of my friends. One of my friends was victim to this, and one of the ways I saw the issue was being addressed, like first you call the congressperson, try to levy out, try to argue out why, find solutions, like find the root cause of the breach, then find initiative, find ways on how you'll address the issues. So some of the ways that I will wish to actually prevent comrades, rather limit them from breaching this rule, is by one of my manifestos, that's manifesto number 1, is having our own public barazas. One of the things that some of the first years that I interacted with, I was privileged to be part of the orientation team, and I had interacted with most of them. So one problem that they had raised is they don't have that direct link with their congressperson. And through these public barazas, we'll be having this time whereby the comrades will be able to question me. They'll be able to have information per se concerning the routes that are within the school. Apart from the orientation itself, they'll also be able to interact with me, ask me questions wherever they feel it fit. And the public barazas will also help us in maintaining checks and balances, whereby they'll be putting me in check, putting me on toes, and making sure that I deliver my part and my promises.
Number 10, your manifesto number 10, you're talking about you're going to reopen the Ahero Hollywood Gate.
Yeah.
You are a Congress.
Yeah.
Leave alone an SGC.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this? And wait, why was it locked?
Okay, for those of you who are that is the Hollywood resident. For those of them that were there, one major reason that brought about the closure of the gate was should I say immorally driven reason, whereby you find that some of the students, that is the Kilimo High School students, there was this sort of misbehavior that was actually happening. But I believe manifesto number 2, which is security, will handle it better. Yeah.
You've talked about enhancing security within the halls, and here you're talking about your manifesto number 2 is saying you'll enhance security within the walls.
Yeah.
And your number 10 is saying you're going to reopen a gate.
Yeah.
So how is security within the halls going to reopen a gate?
You know, in as much as we'll want to talk about security, but we'll also want to consider the comrades also. You know, they find it difficult to like move all the way towards Kajiado blocks so as to access the Ahero route. Most of them access their means through that path. And I believe through opening that gate, we'll also be reducing on the strain as well.
But Kiongozi, you said the reason why it was locked, it was because of Kilimo. I don't know how certain the fact is, but again, you're now calling the residents, the students.
Yeah. You know, through security, I know you're an intellect and you know security. Security, we will wish. Sorry. We'll wish to enhance security by. Should I?
Okay, yeah. So that at least you can explain to us.
So it's a matter of increasing security by liaising with the chief security. Okay. So increasing security will also help to combat the same, and also talking to the comrades. Yeah, you know, by talking to them, I'll be able to like explain to them why should we not involve in this? Why should we use this and not the other way around?
Kiongozi, number 6 manifesto is stating you are going to ensure clean and steady supply of water. Initially, was it dirty supply of water or what?
So that came about when I interacted with that's block B. That's the ladies' block, whereby they found we found out that actually the hygiene bit of it is not that conducive per se, and I will also want to lobby with the school. That's the administration that will also be providing not only clean water but efficient, steady supply of water.
We have a process of acquisition of resources within the institution, and you're talking about restoration, replacement of both old beds and mattresses.
Yeah.
Do you think by the timeline in which you assume office, will this have happened?
When you interact with Article 64 of the EUSA Constitution, it talks about fund mobilization, resource mobilization, and I believe the school in its capability has the resources to like help in restoring or initiating such services. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe with the manifestos, we still have the provision of male condoms and female appliances.
Yeah. So actually, before coming up with the manifesto, it was a manifesto that was there before, and I believe one of the reasons as to why the previous congressperson maybe was limited in supplying such was he had no access to some of the existing foundation. I was privileged to interact with one of our own, that's Melo Daniels. She is part of the Smile Foundation, and through her, I was able to learn that we have other foundations that can also help us in fund mobilization that will be giving out these appliances to the female gender. Yeah.
Okay, we're progressing well. And Mr. Dennis, how do you plan to foster collaboration and cooperation among the EUSA Parliament members and your constituents?
Fostering
collaboration
amongst
the delivery,
delivery. It's all about, when you talk of fostering, it's all about teamwork, coordinating. It's all about sharing your ideas and learning from the others. And I believe we are all human beings, and we can learn from each other, collaborate, understand each other, and I believe this will be a driving force to actually making sure that some of the manifestos that I have in place will be implemented. Yeah. Also putting into consideration the fact that my term limit is 8 months, strictly 8 months. So I believe my manifesto as things that can actually be implemented and can work, are also workable. Yeah.
So, Mr. Dennis, assuming you get a chance to work for them, the constituents, we know there are critics who have not supported you, or who are not supporting you. They're supporting the others.
Yeah.
On the event, there is an issue arising within their other part. How will you handle this?
I don't know if you got me. Like, I talked of issue concerning, should I call them appointments? Appointing block representatives. The block representatives, if per se they don't have, they will not be free with me. Like some will not be free with me to express some of their concerns. They will also have their block representative. For per se, if I appoint one as the block representative for Kajiado, Busia, or Isiolo, they'll have that initiative to like address them to him or her, and actually pass it to me. Yeah.
Okay, and does the Constitution give you this authority?
It's not a matter of aligning with the Constitution, but service delivery. We are talking about service delivery. By having these block representatives, I'll actually, on my part, isn't the load. So that's also a consideration. Service delivery through actually appointing my own block representative. They'll not be paid, but maybe on my part, they might benefit from my part, but that will not be the school's load.
Okay. Yeah. On the verge of your maybe the aspirations, you have interacted with your constituents, and they have maybe told you 1 or 2 or 3 challenges they are facing. Maybe can you outline these challenges and how you will address them, how you seek to address them once you assume office?
Yeah. That's a question that has been asked before, and I believe one of the ways that I would wish to, first of all, let me highlight some of the challenges that they've addressed to me. Most of the Hollywood blocks, they spoke about hygiene. Hygiene has also been part. Personally, I've worked within the block, and if you walk in between the toilets and the latrine, they're actually not in good condition. So it's a matter of just increasing the workload and making sure that things run smoothly. Yeah, and on the same, there is this increasing issues of security. I remember there's this recent case that occurred in Kwale. That's Kwale, was it room 10, whereby a fellow class rep, his phone was stolen, and it was quite sad that we could not have that, should I say, connection like to the chief halls. That's why I'll initiate a hotline service through liaising with the school administration that I believe that will be effective. Yeah.
So how will you liaise? Which process will you use?
I have a cousin of mine. That's Steve Wasonga. He's a student at Egerton University. He's pursuing computer science. Steve had approached me with an idea whereby he had developed his software. He has an app. He can create an app whereby we'll be sending it. We'll be pleading with the comrades to like have access to it, whereby they'll be channeling their grievances there, having access to the contact to the security personnel, and this will also help us in a way. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your approach to ensuring that the interests of your constituents are represented as you promised?
Again, I'll come back to the public barazas. Their interest will only be addressed by me, Sindio. Then how will they like be guaranteed that their interests are actually put in place through these public barazas, whereby they'll be putting me accountable to whatever I've done. They'll be asking me questions. So far, Dennis Ochola, you had been elected as the congressperson, Buruburu and Hollywood. You've served for a term of 4 months. What are some of the things that you've done? What are some of the initiatives that you made? And how are you progressing so far? And I'll be able to answer them, and they'll also be giving me their feedback on the same. Yeah.
So there is this manifesto about security close to all the aspirants.
Yeah.
What is so unique about this security?
Okay.
It's also in the manifesto.
They talked of security, but mine, should I call it a little bit different, whereby I'll wish to address it on a different scale. Security are divided into 3 main sections, whereby I'll talk about increasing lighting, not only within around the blocks, but also not only within the blocks, but also around the block. Another thing that I initiated is I'm a sociologist, and one thing that I know is that's in the concept of guards, the security personnel that walk around Buruburu, and I'll also initiate that we'll be reshuffling, or rather shifting the guards. This, in a way, will also be reducing that, should I say in Kiswahili, mazoeano. We have a sociology by the name Goffman, whereby he talks of human interaction. Human interaction, we find that the more you interact, you get used to someone. Then through this interaction, you'll find that the security personnel will be lowering their guards, per se. So through the lowering their guards, they'll be actually not that much interested, or should I call, they'll not be that keen in identifying who is a student and who per se is not a student. And through this, getting used to this perpetrators, should I call them, the criminal perpetrators, and they'll also infiltrate within the blocks and cause mayhem. Yeah.
Okay. During your reign. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's number 1, increasing light and reshuffling of the guards. Another thing that I'll also put in place is reshuffling of the padlocks. One of the congresses, the outgoing congresses, faced the same challenge. That's Mike Jr., whereby his room was infiltrated and his laptop was actually stolen. So you find that some of the criminal perpetrators, maybe he was a resident of the said room. He has access. Maybe he had duplicated the key. He has access to the room. Then he'll actually open the door and access some of the equipment. So through reshuffling of the padlocks, also this will also help in reducing theft within the blocks. Also, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, I'll give you this opportunity to maybe tell us or tell your constituents what you have for them in store.
So where's the right camera to face? Okay, Buruburu and Hollywood residents, speaking to you is Dennis Ochola Dondi. I'm an aspirant congressperson, Buruburu and Hollywood, and I personally urge you to vote me in as your next congressperson. I have ideas. I have my own plans that I believe are actually practical, are workable within my 8 months tenure, and I believe that they will actually serve for your best. Number 1 consideration that I'd initiated, if you had been following closely, I'd initiated things to do with public barazas. I'd also initiated things to do with our own hall's welfare kitty. I'll also initiated things to do with security. I will also wish to reinstate our Chewy Wing television station, and also the old the old Ahero shop down there, that I believe will also be beneficial to you as comrades. I will also wish to have our own room for storing our luggages, and also key into consideration is room restoration, room renovation per se. Yeah.
do you feel is special about you? As a
Okay.
leader?
What's special about me? Dennis Ocholo Dondi is one person who has been in leadership from my junior level. Actually, I'm privileged enough to have some of my classmates. I have friends that I studied with in primary school. I have friends that I studied with in high school. I have friends in university, and they can also attest to my leadership skills. And I believe, in a way, I'm special enough. I have the zeal, I have the determination, I have the will to lead Buruburu and Hollywood to greater heights.
So on the event, you are approached maybe with any of your aspirants and
Mhm.
told you, kindly back down for me. Will you take that chance?
They'll have to convince me. They'll have to convince me. They'll have to tell me how special, how different will they, how special will they initiate their plans? How will they foster some of my ideas into their own parts, their own ideologies per se? Yeah.
And so that also begs the next question. So you, can you approach them to step down for you?
Well, that's also that's also good, but we should also put the Bill of Rights. Actually, the EUSA Constitution also provides for the Bill of Rights. I believe each and every person is eligible to vie. Each and every person is eligible to vie, participate. That's why, if per se I was a tribal man, I would have approached. We know that out of the 6 contenders, actually 4 are from my community. Per se, if I was that selfish, that I would go and tell them, oh, Nani, step down for me, that will not be good. I believe everybody has the right to vie, and I will not wish to actually tell anyone to step down. Yeah.
So, in short, you are the supporting tribal politics?
I'm actually against tribal politics. I'm an activist against tribal politics, if I may say.
Your position has been among the headlines, and everyone talking about it keenly. We have these political gods in quotes.
Political gods.
What are some of your views in them, towards them?
Yeah, there's this issue that has been trending. If you've been following Get Media, Jokero TV, things to do with political gods. I don't know how powerful they are. I should not want to delve into it. I don't want to cross roads in anyone. But everybody's a leader. I know they have the influence. They have their own strengths. So I'll not want to speak on that. Yeah.
Okay, and your driving force as a leader?
My driving force is my family, my mom. She has also always been there for me. My team, headed by my very own personal assistant, that's Sir Eric Evans. I have my PAs, the likes of Kina Janet, the likes of Kina Ada. They've been driving me, and then they are my pillar. Yeah.
Okay, as we move close to the end,
yeah,
I take some 3 minutes to sell yourself out to your constituents.
So, Buruburu and Hollywood residents, once again, I've been given a chance to serve you, and I believe I have what it takes to actually lead you to the right path. I believe I'm the better candidate, and I would also want to urge you to register as voters. A link has been sent. Register as voters, and remember on 13th, Dennis Ocholo Dondi is the name. Dennis Ocholo Dondi. The name is long, but you can master any of the 3. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, maybe a parting shot or something of that kind as we
Parting
come to
shot.
the end of the show.
I would wish all of my opponents, all of our supporters. I know, in as much as we have bloggers, let's limit hate. After 13th, we'll all come together. We'll all celebrate. Even though most of us, if not all of us, may be in a somber mood by 13th, but I believe I'm going to win. I believe I have the will. I believe I have the zeal, and I'll count on you for your support. It's a matter of having that determination, having the spirit in you. My classmates can attest to you that Dennis Ocholo Dondi is a leader who can serve. Dennis Ocholo Dondi is a leader who can deliver. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we were in a round table discussion with Mr. Dennis Ocholo Dondi here, who is an aspirant of the Buruburu Hollywood Congress seat. And I believe that this discussion has been a fruitful one, and we have had Mr. Ocholo Dondi here tell us his manifestos, what he plans for you, and he has a lot in store for you. So, Mr. Ocholo Dondi, unless we have nothing else, I beg we have to come to the end of the show. To the cameramen, to the team, to the producers, kudos and thank you. Mr. Chet, there is again, Santi Kufika. Thank you.
I want to recommend very highly COILIB to every youth out there who has an idea that they want to bring on board. This is a place where you'll be incubated, so to say. You, irrespective of how rugged you feel your idea is, you come to this place and we will continuously work on you to make sure that the idea that you have is refined and at least you become the person.
COILIB Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.